Recording button. Double tap to activate.
Hello, I am recording this video for WIP Wednesday. So you know what that means. Yeah, get your beverage, get your project, say hello in the comment section, because today I'm going to be your crafting buddy, right? Okay, that's what we're going to do together. So go ahead and ask, what is my WIP today for WIP Wednesday? Well, today I'm going to be knitting with you. And I'll just tell you, this is not my own design. This is a paid for pattern. So I'm only going to show you the first page. This is the granita tank top. That's what it's supposed to look like in theory. When I finish it, of course, I am doing a different color. And well, I don't know what color hers is. Because, hey, if you're a returning viewer, you know why I don't know what colors hers is. This is mine. I do know what color mine's going to be. Mine's going to be blackberry. Because you just know, I love my deep dark purples that are so dark they're almost black, right? If you're a returning viewer, you know why I don't know what color hers is. And thank you for your patience while I briefly introduce myself to anybody who might be new to my channel. Hi! My name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, completely colorblind, too blind to drive, blind by the light. That's why we are recording this sort of in the evening time when there's minimal light in the room with us, right? So anyways, I'm going to sit here and knit with you. So I can't see what color her top is in that picture. But I bought blackberry because that's what I wanted. So it's called the granita tank top. I did purchase this pattern from Knit Picks. So I just showed you the cover page. That's pretty much the info that you're going to get, right? If you're shopping for it, they'll tell you what size needles do you need? What yarn do you need? What sizes is it available for? And that's pretty much all I want to show on a pay for pattern. But anyways, it's knit in a fingering weight yarn, right? In the Knit Picks We Crochet Comfy Fingering, which is 75% Pima cotton and 25% acrylic. And if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you just know that I love the Knit Picks We Crochet Comfy Worsted. In fact, I love it so much, I'm wearing my shorts that are in the color Holly Berry and white. I did design those myself and knit them in the Knit Picks We Crochet Comfy Worsted. You've seen them on numerous times on my channel. And not only that, but I thought, hey, if I'm going to knit today with the Knit Picks We Crochet Comfy Fingering, I should wear another tank top that I knit with Knit Picks We Crochet Comfy Fingering. So that's what I am wearing today. This is a tank top. It's in the color white, though. And it's in the vine lace at the bottom, and then it's got this little bow in the center. We got some stockinette at the top. So if you're kind of wondering what is Knit Picks We Crochet Comfy Fingering going to look like, knit up. Well, this is and then I chose to do these vine lace straps. I love vine lace straps on tank tops and dresses. I just think they're so pretty, so fun. Keep it interesting, keep it light, right? Love that. So, anyway, I really, really love comfy worsted. And so, this is what the tank top with the comfy finger is going to look like, except, of course, the one that I'm wearing is in the color white. And the one that I'm knitting right now is in the color blackberry. So the colors are going to be different. And, of course, the tops are going to look different. But the yarn itself, this is what it knits up like. So it's a very light, delicate yarn. I think it's a great yarn for summer tank tops because it's so light and delicate, which is why I'm doing this. I bought this pattern like years ago. I bought that pattern years ago. I just looked that up on Knit Picks. It is $5.99 right now. So I bought the pattern. I don't remember how much I paid for it, and then I also bought the yarn for the pattern years ago, and I've been keeping them. Sometimes, like, if you know me, right? If you watch my channel, you know I love yarn sales, and when I find yarns on sale, I'll just buy them, right? And like have no idea what I'm going to make with them. But there are also times when I shop for yarn very intentionally, where I'm like, nope, I want to make that. I want to make that. I'm buying that yarn for that. So that was the case for this particular project. I specifically bought yarn, comfy fingering, for this specific pattern, knit up in comfy fingering. So, years ago, I bought this pattern. I printed it out, and I've been storing it in my little Ziploc bag, right? If you watch my channel, you just know I like to keep my yarns all kind of divided, right? So that I can tell somebody who's colorblind, right? I get all the yarns of certain types and certain colors together so that I know what I got up in Ziploc bags. So this yarn and this pattern has been stored together in a Ziploc bag for years. In fact, I completely forgot about it. And of course, going through the boxes, going through the bins, right, to do like a yarn sale video, because I love doing yarn sale videos. You know that. Just love pulling the yarn out, going through, doing yarn sale videos. It's like shopping in my own stash again, right? Because I've been knitting for years, so I've got yarns in there that I haven't seen in a long time, okay? I got yarns in there that I've forgotten all about, yeah. And so it's kind of fun for me. I love doing, even though the yarn sale videos can sometimes challenge me because, like I say, I call it Yarn Mountain because it's well beyond a stash now, right? So I've got to climb on this stool, and I got to get these huge boxes that are way, they're huge, and they're stacked way above my head because I don't have a beautiful yarn wall like Glenda at Creative Grandma, or like Shannon at Another Yarn. I don't have a beautiful yarn wall. I don't have the space for that. So I have to climb up and down on this stool and get these huge boxes from over my head and dig through them. I do have a pretty good idea of what's in what boxes, but I also do forget, sometimes, and I'm often reorganizing. I love to reorganize my boxes, always thinking I'm making it more efficient, right? Am I? Well, I doubt it, but I don't know. So anyways, I was going through those boxes, doing, getting ready to do a yarn sale video, and I found this Ziploc bag that was all portioned out and ready for me. Yeah, it had the pattern, it had the yarn. It was all there together. And I love this dark purple so much. I was like, ooh, get that out, right? Get that out and work it up. So that's what I decided to do, is get this project out and get it on the needles, right? I mean, I've been storing it all together for so long. I was just like, nope, it's time. Oh, what do I got going on there? Who knows? Sometimes with me, it's a mystery. Oh, that's my tail. Oh my goodness. Woo, okay. I don't know if you always watch all of my WIP Wednesday videos or not, but I did a WIP Wednesday video last week where I was working on this huge shawl, the Noble Crescent shawl with the Cascade Yarns Noble Cotton. And I was at a place where I had joined my yarn, and then I accidentally knit a stitch with my joined yarn. I had to unknit it right there with you all. So that was the tale from the beginning of my project. But the same thing could happen tonight. Got to be very, very mindful of that, because guess what? Yeah, this is my skein of yarn, and I just attached it, okay? So just a few rows back, maybe like 4 or 5 rows back, I just attached the second skein of yarn. And given that it's fingering weight yarn, the rows are pretty small, right? So where the tails are from my join is fairly close still to where I'm working. So I definitely have to be mindful of that again, right? That I don't do that 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, awkward, right? You really know May doesn't learn, right? She keeps making the same mistakes again. Yeah, again. So I'm really gonna try to be mindful of that as I work this top with y'all, right? I don't want to get that tail in there again. Yeah, I don't want to have to unknit. I don't want to mess up my project. So thankfully I fixed what had happened. I was a little worried about that shawl, and I did get that all worked out. It's all good. There's no issues from that. But my joint is on this side, on the second side of my tank top now. And the joint of the second ball, it is towards the end here, on the other end from where I'm working at. So, but I will be really mindful of that. Like when I get there, I'll probably slow down, pay attention, and be like, like a caution, like beep, 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 right when a truck's backing up or a bus is backing up or something, right? I got to do that for myself when I get towards the end there where that tail's at. I got to be like, beep, beep, beep. So I know caution, right? I need like a caution sound or something that just tells me like slow down, right? Don't knit with your tail from your join there where you put that second ball in. Don't work with your tail from this ball or the previous one. So anyways, what do you guys think? Like I love to work with fingering weight yarns. I think that I love to knit with them. Like they just knit these beautiful, delicate fabrics, really delicate fabric and really lightweight for this summertime, right? Like this top isn't just lacy, it's lightweight too. And so that makes it really nice. And like, I don't know, if you're a returning viewer, you've seen that I knit like a whole tank top in this skirt, a skirt with the Knit Picks We Crochet Stroll, which is a sock yarn, and I knit this whole outfit with it, and I love it. I think it's just so beautiful. But by the time I got to the bottom, I worked the skirt from the top down, and it kept getting wider and more flowy, kept adding in increases, right? And it's got these diamonds and lace hearts on the skirt. And so by the time I got to the bottom of that in fingering weight, it was 420 stitches around. That's a lot of stitches, okay? It just is, and it takes forever to work their project. And so I don't mind doing it because I just love that little outfit. I think it's cute. I think it's light, and even though it's in a sock yarn and wool, I mean, wool is very breathable too, so I don't mind wearing wool in the summertime. It's it takes a long time to knit those items, right? So here I am. I got my joint. Here's, you see the tails there? I can feel them. There's my little tails from my balls of yarn. Yeah, I gotta be super careful right here and make sure that those do not, May, right? Do not knit those in to your project on camera two weeks in a row, right? So, okay, so I was talking about working with fingering weight yarn. I'm almost to the end of my row. What do you think, y'all? Should I do one more round with you, or does that get too long? I would really love to hear from people on, how long do you like your WIP Wednesday buddies videos? Like to hang out with your WIP Wednesday buddies or a crafting buddy any time of the week, right? That you're looking for a crafting video. You're looking for a crafting buddy to hang out with. And if you do, right, you don't just have to watch WIP Wednesday videos on WIP Wednesday, right? I usually record my WIP Wednesday videos at least by Tuesday night, sometimes, Monday. I like to have them done a little bit ahead of time because we always talk about my slow internet. And, the fact that I said it before, I like to re-listen to that video and make sure that, that there's no glitches in it. As I said, I just did my celebration video. Did you come to my party? Did you celebrate with me on Sunday? 100 videos on YouTube. Okay, I turned my project If You're Blind or Visually Impaired. I'm starting another round with y'all. Yeah, I did. Will I finish it? I don't know. I mean, that could get too long for you. I don't know. But Okay, so what was I talking about anyways? Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Oh yeah, so I was talking about, I shared with you, because I'm not gonna hide from you the fact that I'm still new at this. It's just me. I'm still like really a novice when it comes to recording and having a YouTube channel and those kinds of things. Like, I'm a novice at it, right? I don't really know, what I'm doing all the time yet. So, and I'm still very, very new at it. 142 days or something. That's what I said in my video. So 142 days since I started the YouTube. So, so I like with that particular WIP Wednesday video from last week. Thankfully, I recorded it on a Monday night, and so when I went back and watched it, I was like, "Ooh, that is not good," right? Like, you can't do that. You don't want to put that up there. And so I thought about it, and I thought about doing it later that night, but I was just so disappointed, so like frustrated, like discouraged, just like, I don't know, man. I just did this full video and the lighting is bad, it's too bright, people aren't going to want to look at that when they can't hardly see. I mean, I'm visually impaired, so I'm used to not being able to see things on video, but I know that the majority of people, you're visual people, right? And so you like being able to see what's happening while you're crafting. Some people might not care. Some people might just like the company while you're crafting, right? Because I'm assuming you're crafting with me, but maybe you're not. So let me know what you're doing today. Are you knitting? Are you crocheting? Are you doing some cross stitch, some embroidery? Are you cleaning up your kitchen? Yeah. So anyways, with that WIP Wednesday video, I did it on Monday night, and I was so disappointed with the lighting, right? That it was so bright that I waited. I was gonna redo it that night, but I was just like, oh my god, I was so frustrated with it. So I like, just do it tomorrow night. And so that way I was able to wait until later on in the evening. That's what I'm learning, right? Do it later on. But of course, we know daylight hours get shorter all the time, right? And so it's hard for me. I can't just be consistent with that and be like, oh, at 8 o'clock I can do it, because as the sun starts setting earlier, I'm gonna have to keep backing that time up a little bit. So we'll see how that works out for me. But with that one, I waited specifically till later on Tuesday night to record. So thinking like, that way it wouldn't be so bright. Excuse me, I gotta itch my nose. I got allergies. If you haven't noticed it for some reason, I got allergies. Thankfully, I'm not super congested right now. Whew, that's a relief, right? Some of my videos, I've been so congested. Oh my goodness, sniffly and hard to understand. So I'm not super congested right now. Really grateful for that, but still kind of itchy. So anyways, so I waited to do that video, and then it was dark, and it's getting darker tonight, but I don't think it's too dark for sighted people to hang out and craft with me tonight, right? I don't think so. So anyway, so that's part of the reason why I like to pre-record by a day or two. I'm like, if I can get that video done a day or two ahead of time, then I have the opportunity to preview that video and be like, take two, right? That, don't put that on YouTube, right? These are your people, these are your subscribers, and give them a better product, right? Give them something better. If you are gonna spend your time with me, if you're gonna hang out and you're gonna say, yeah, I like knitting with May, right? I like crafting, I like crocheting with May. You know what? If that's you, then I think I can do better by you. And so when I thought about that, I was like, you know what? This channel isn't just about...
Message Kevin. Hi, I will be tarting around outside for a short time now. Jean and I will be probably be in the basement about 9 or so Monday.
Goodness, so sorry about that. So, anyways, if you don't know yet, as somebody who's visually impaired, right? Visually impaired people use screen readers on their phones or devices. Not all. But many visually impaired people, or people think, how do we access our phones? Well, I use the same phone as millions of people. I use a Samsung Galaxy S23, just like millions of people, and it has a screen reader in it. So that just is like an electronic voice. It's called TalkBack, by the way. If you go into your Google, if you own a Samsung, right, and you go into your settings, and then into settings there's like all kinds of stuff, right, and you go into your accessibility settings, yeah, there's something in there called TalkBack. Yeah, that's what that is. If you're like, how can I make my phone talk like her? She says my phone has the potential to do that. Yeah, if you go into your Android, into your Samsung, go into settings, and then go into accessibility, and then go into TalkBack. You can turn that little voice on in your phone. Yeah, that's pretty cool in a way, because all of the major technology companies now come with screen readers in them, which is pretty cool. So that's mine, and so it reads out notifications, it reads out text messages, and that's what that was. That was a text message to me from the mister. Yeah. It's his place, and that was a text message from him, and he was just letting me know that the contractor's going to be here in the morning, and so is he. They'll be here outside doing some stuff. So my apologies for his words and his verbiage and his interruption and all that, but it is what it is. I did forget. Okay, so I've talked about it before, right? In past videos, you've heard my screen reader just announce anything and everything from, food recalls to political headlines to, things. I'm like, what? What are we even talking about? So, anyway, so for a while, I was using an earbud, right? I put my earbud in so that just I could hear it. And then you all couldn't hear it. And I was like, that's a pretty good idea. And it is a good idea. I forgot to do it tonight because I just got off the phone with my mama and I was wanting to get, all situated here. I'm like trying to work this time in to do my videos in between sunset, right? When the sun's too bright and then you guys are blinded by the sun. But then if I do it too late and then it's dark and then you guys can't see me either. So that's tricky for me to get this video in just at the right time. So I was kind of feeling, in a hurry to get this video done, to get ready to do it. And so I forgot to put in my earbuds. But I have been wearing my earbuds in some videos. But I forgot to put them in tonight. And that, of course, is when, when the mister's going to text and interrupt and, so say hi, I'm here, Yeah. So anyways, that's all that was, as a text message from him. Saying hello to the world, letting the world know, that he's here. So my apologies, y'all. My apologies. So anyways, yeah, so that's the screen reader. I don't have the, by the way, if you're wondering, like, why don't you just edit that out, right? So I use an editing app. I use an editing app, and I guess what I could have done is I could have stopped the video right then when his text came in, just hit stop and then restarted a whole other video and then put them together in the editing app. I don't have enough eyesight to edit visually frame by frame. Even in an editing app, like I can't see to go in and pick out the frame where that interruption is and edit it out. I don't have the eyesight to do that. So, but the one thing that I have figured out that I can do is if I get an interruption with something like really personal, like it's happened to me before. I've gotten really personal, messages that I was just like, sure, I did not want on the internet, right? I went, nope, that's not going on the internet. So I've gotten those before, and what I just do is hit stop, and I stop the video, and then I start another one. And then when I put that in the editing app, I can put the first half in, and then I do have the ability to look right before to listen, right? And then right before where the interruption happened, I can go in and hit, I think it's like split or trim or something, and then hit delete. But all it will do is delete the tail end, because I can't see well enough to choose between the different slides. I'd be like, okay, split it here, and just take this little section out. I don't have enough eyesight to do that. So the only thing I can really do to edit my videos would be to like chop the end off, right? To just hit delete and chop the end off, and then put the second half of the video in. So I guess I could have done that tonight too, right? I could have just like, been like, well, I'll just chop it off and then get back with you. But what do you all think I should do? Like, what would work better for you all? Okay. Meaning, like, would you prefer, it's going to look choppy. If I have to do that, it will look choppy, right? You'll see me like just boom, all of a sudden I'll be here, and then it stops, and then I get back, and so it would definitely look choppy. But I've done it. I've done it in a couple of videos. I've several, well, not several, but 3, 4 videos now. I've done it. I've had things interrupt my videos to the point that I'm like, nope, I don't want that. I don't want that in my video. So I've done it. It looks choppy. You're like, what's going on? But at the same time, you wouldn't have those interruptions from my screen reader, okay? So let me know what your thoughts are on, because I certainly could have stopped my video right there, right when he texted me, and like jumped off the bed, hit the stop button, restarted, and then you'd see me restart the video again, and we'd just be putting those two pieces together. So that's always a possibility, and maybe I'll do that in the future, right? So anyways, okay, or I should just put my earbuds in, right? Yeah, note to self, put your earbuds in. Maybe that will remind me with his interruption. Maybe that will remind me. Put your earbuds in so that when the mister's texting you, right, the world doesn't hear it. Okay, well, here is the top. Yeah, it's fingering weight yarn. Remember, it's fingering weight yarn. So when you work with it, I do 2 whole rounds with y'all on this. But guess what? Are you really even going to see it hardly in fingering weight yarn? You're probably not going to notice. Okay, the gauge on this is 8 rounds equals 1 inch. That's my gauge. So I have to do 8 rounds of knitting to get 1 inch of top. Yeah, so, so we just did... each round would be 1/8 of an inch. So we just knit 1/4 of an inch together. Yeah, 1/4 of an inch. So can you see it? Can you see that 1/4 of an inch? Yeah, probably not. So anyways, okay, well, if you're a returning viewer, if you stay till the very end, I'm going to hop off this bed. I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to turn on the overhead light just so you can see this beautiful blackberry colored yarn. Okay, but you know what I like to end with. Creativity is for everybody, whether you see or you see like me, which is not so much. You know what? I got to go. The mister's here right now. Okay.
Pause.
Okay, well, my apologies. Okay, here's the tank top, right? Here's the beautiful blackberry color, so y'all can see it, right? This is the color. This is, the 1/4 inch that I knit with y'all, my 2 rounds. So anyways, I apologize for the interruption, but I was just going to end and say, what I like to end with. Creativity is for everybody, right? Whether you see or you see like me, which is not so much, not in color, or you don't see at all. Creativity is for you. Okay, my friends. Well, thank you so much for listening. I really apologize for the interruptions, the text, and then him stopping by all of a sudden. Yeah, anyways, okay. Well, happy stitching, and until next time, bye-bye for now.
Pause.